Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and this video is a review of Medieval. It is a historical drama directed by Peter Yackel and was released in the USA on September 9th, 2022. Medieval tells the story of Jan Žižka and how he became a famous military commander. Before I hop into my review, if you want to support the channel, please take a second to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's really appreciated. But for real, hit subscribe. Thank you, you're the best. This review will contain a lot of spoilers, so continue at your own risk. Lastly, if there's something that you want to see reviewed, don't forget to leave a comment and let me know so I can get to it. Thank you. We're hopping in 3, 2, 1. The film takes place during the 14th century when Wenceslas IV is king of Bohemia and Roman emperor. He sucks at ruling, and the country is actually ruled by Henry III of Rosenborg. Nobleman Lord Boris tasks knight and mercenary Žižka with kidnapping Rosenborg's fiancée Catherine to blackmail Rosenborg into helping Wenceslas. Žižka is successful but clashes with Wenceslas' brother, King Sigismund, and his mentor, Torak. Žižka loses an eye and Catherine nurses him, falling in love. You gotta love Stockholm Syndrome. Catherine is captured and taken to Rosenborg's castle, where it's revealed Sigismund has actually murdered Boris and Wenceslas. Žižka storms the castle with his men, and they're overrun, but Catherine throws herself off the castle wall to save him. It's a poetic climax, and the film ends with Žižka retrieving her body. The film ends with an epilogue explaining how Sigismund became king of Bohemia, but Žižka successfully united the common folk against him, never losing a battle. Okay, so now that you know the plot, let's talk about what I liked in this movie and what I didn't like. For starters, I am very biased towards medieval and historical movies, fictional or not. Medieval is obviously a historical movie, so if you put two and two together, I obviously loved it. I thought the plot was awesome, and I loved the opportunity to learn something new. I think the introduction of Žižka's underdog story was great, and it's awesome to know he's a Czech national hero. I spent a bit of time looking into Žižka's life, and I think it's really cool how the film included some small, intricate details like the loss of his eye. I really enjoyed the gritty tone of the film. It was dark, misty, and moody. People were dirty, grimy, and the film felt authentic. I also loved the production design. I thought the inclusion of medieval villages and Rosenborg Castle was awesome. The armor, clothing, and weapons used felt in place. Also, lots of characters died, giving the film high stakes and suspense. Which, speaking of characters, I really enjoyed Žižka and his band of mercenaries. I like Ben Foster, and I thought he did a good job portraying Žižka, but I think a more imposing actor could have played the lead role. It's a little hard to picture Ben Foster as a badass knight cutting down other larger knights. He's much better suited for a stealth build. The mercenaries, on the other hand, were awesome. Christopher Rye, Magnus Samuelsson, and Guy Roberts were awesome and imposing figures to help back up Žižka. Additionally, Roland Moller did a great job as Torak. He is tough and brutal. Matthew Good and Till Schweiger did great jobs as King Sigismund and Rosenborg. They were conniving and crooked. Michael Caine and William Moseley were also good inclusions in the film, but they didn't quite have enough time to shine. Sophie Lowe was also a good inclusion in the film, and she did a great job with her acting as a kind, noble woman. The movie ran for 2 hours and 5 minutes, and I was satisfied with the runtime. However, I believe the movie could have been cut down by 15 minutes and still had the same emotional impact on the plot. There were several played out scenes between Žižka and Catherine that didn't feel necessary. It's not a big deal, but I will consider it in my final score. Unlike the pace and length of the film, I was more than satisfied with the score and soundtrack. The music felt authentic and took me to a different time and place. I really enjoyed it because I felt immersed in the movie, and it helped invoke emotions of wonder in me. The dialogue was also good, with the most impactful line coming from Lord Boris.
When even those who rule can sink this low, it is not possible to change anything.
He was referring to the dishonorable actions of King Sigismund and helped inspire Žižka to be a leader. I thought the cinematography was good. There were a lot of pretty forested shots, and when combined with the medieval setting, things looked great. I especially loved shots of the castle and shots of the canyon where the mercenaries are introduced. My biggest gripe with this film was the editing during combat sequences. I hated it because it was so chopped up and disjointed. It was nearly impossible to see what was happening, and I was frustrated that the movie had all the elements to make it amazing, but they were squandered by chopped up action shots. As a viewer, I should be able to see and understand what happens during a fight and how the winner wins. Overall, I thought Medieval was a great movie. It's a slower film, which I didn't mind too much because the story requires it. I also also didn't mind it because I was disappointed with the chopped up, fast-paced moments in the film, adding to the things I thought could have been improved. Ben Foster's a great actor and did a good job as Žižka, but a more imposing actor would have done a better job. Other than that, I thought the film did a lot right. The story was great and stayed true to the historical life of Jan Žižka. I also thought the acting was great. I loved the mercenaries and the noblemen. I thought Sophie Lowe did a wonderful job as Catherine. Just as good, I loved the score, soundtrack, and dialogue. They helped enhance the gritty tone of the film. Lastly, I thought the production design was awesome. Everything felt authentic and in place. I enjoyed watching Medieval and gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Keeping my bias in mind, I wouldn't recommend this movie unless you like medieval or historical action films. If you don't, it might be a bit too slow for you, but if you do, I think you'll find much to enjoy. Thank you for listening to my review of Medieval. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe. If you didn't enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. You are awesome. If you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I would love to read what you have to say. And if there's something that you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know by leaving a comment so I can get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Friends with Benefits. My name is Diego, and I'll see you next time.